and it's Vince McMahon nearly kills a woman. And I'm going to read you the news from it. I think this is a copy and paste from F4W Online. Former WWE CEO Vince McMahon was charged with reckless driving in Connecticut after he was involved in a three-car accident that severely damaged his vehicle. The accident occurred on the Merritt Parkway in Westport, Connecticut on the morning of July 24th, according to the state police reports. Anyway, McMahon was driving northbound Route 15 when he collided with the rear of another vehicle and then crashed into a median wooden beam guardrail. Another vehicle was driving southbound on the route and collided with debris projected over the centre median from McMahon's vehicle. No injuries were reported in the crash, and there were no passengers in any of the affected vehicles. McMahon was driving a soon-to-be damaged Bentley. McMahon was issued a misdemeanor for reckless driving. Anyway, that was the report. A Facebook post that has now since been deleted was from a lady called, I don't know if she's got a first name or her first name is Doran. I can't remember because of just the copy and paste. And for some reason, my printer's also not printed a couple of words. So it says, while initial blank stated, probably reports, stated that no one was injured in the crash, Doran shared that she has been experiencing a stiff neck and has undergone a full battery of tests. Doran wrote, lucky to have survived a horrific car crash, on the way up to catch the ferry to Martha's Vineyard last Thursday morning. Both cars totaled. Vince McMahon, former chairman of WWE, hit me going 80 to 90 miles per hour as I drove in the right lane of the narrow Merritt Highway built in the 30s. I and the dog are mostly fine, but was lucky to have kept control of the car more or less as I shot off the road after being catapulted over 100 yards. An unmarked state trooper had been following him as he sped in and out of cars down the highway and had just turned on his lights to pull McMahon over, but he was not in time. Both front wheels of McMahon's Bentley were sheared off and his airbags deployed, probably saving him from significant injury. The trooper told me afterwards that McMahon saw me last minute and swerved, smashing into my left rear, but that if he had hit me full on, there might have been a very different ending. We'll talk about other stuff. Vince McMahon's nearly 80 years old and he's still driving like an absolute moron. And this is not far from the first time we've heard that Vince McMahon is the worst driver in the world.
Yeah, I would concur with that. And the Merritt Parkway, I've driven up and down. I used to live in Wallingford, Connecticut, which is north of Westport, maybe in a half hour or something like that. That two-lane road, it was built in the 1930s, and there's a lot of accidents there. People, just in the curves sometimes, but you can easily just spin out on that road, and it seems to happen, and people don't pay attention. This here is the poster situation of that. But how do you shear both the front tires off your Bentley? Unless you really tried to spin them like that, you know what I mean? The tires come off. And yeah, he's a maniac. Whether he's driving, working out, belt squats, I don't know. I was going to make a joke. I was going to make a joke that he didn't pull out any NDAs at the accident and tell her not to put a Facebook post up. Thank God everybody's okay.
Jim Cornette on Twitter responded to this and said, the long list of people who would refuse to ride with Vince McMahon driving included me and Jim Ross, who told him, I love my children and want to see them again.
Yeah. And of course, I'll read the next line because it explains the SmackDown opening right here. I've heard that Vince McMahon would blast AC/DC to deafening levels and drive like a total maniac for no apparent reason, and you are 100% correct. I've been there when he's pulled up at Titan Towers. Somehow I caught him, and it's blasting mostly all the time AC/DC so loud that I could hear it on the other side of the garage as he's pulling in.
What cars was he driving at the time?
I think he was driving a Porsche at that time. Almost the same one from that Inside Edition when he talked about the one interview guy that was on Phil Donahue, remember, about the sexual abuse scandal. They had caught Vince at a red light, I guess, in Greenwich when he had his Zubaz outfit on and asked him a question, but it was a Porsche, I believe.
There's also another time, there's not that many stories about his terrible driving other than, I can't remember exactly the details, but I just wanted to mention it anyway, or even who said the story, is that whether he was tearing into Madison Square Garden or out of Madison Square Garden, he went the wrong way down the one-way system to get to the staff car park there. And the police I don't know if somebody tried to pull him over and stop him, But I think he like wound down his window and actually gave the speech of "I'm Vince McMahon, damn it, open this road right now," and they did. Whether it's the police or construction or whatever it is, he was that forceful. They went, okay, and just let him through.
Open this road. Open this road. Yeah, that's Vince. Yeah,
Liam Neeson.
You gotta kind of loop around or something. We go to the parking garage across the street. I'm assuming Vince parked inside the garden. Only the best of the best.
He probably parked in the rafters, knowing him.
He probably ran people over and had the guardrail, the barrier, just all like that. He was like, "Oh, we're going to drop this on Stevie Richards' head in a few years. Let's put that at the side." So, yeah, I mean, he probably drove down one-way streets. He probably was lucky to be on the correct side of the Merritt Parkway. Like Vince, I've heard the story where Vince McMahon was on the Merritt Parkway and said, "God damn it, I forgot something." And it just made a U-turn right there. His cars are just going 70, 80 miles an hour. Probably could have sheared the tires off then.
I wonder if he's ever been given a ticket. Or he's just yelled his way through it.
I think if you check his glove compartment, he'll have a big pile of parking tickets, traffic tickets that he never paid and never will pay.
It'll be between him and Jerry Lawler then for the all-time amount of tickets received driving.
You know what Vince probably did? He probably has all these yearly donation to the Police Benevolent Association. All those tickets get wiped out.
Oh, God, yeah. We know how it goes. I've got to mention one thing. He's 80 years old. And, like, this is still a character trait. Is this just whatever uppers he's taking constantly? Or is this just some weird testosterone thing that only he has, that he's nearly 80 years old, and he's just, like, grinding his teeth furious behind the wheel still as an octogenarian?
Yeah, where do you got to go? Where do you got to be?
Yeah, he's got to go nowhere. What, to your lawyer's office?
I have no idea.
Another NDA. I've got to sign before 12. Got to squeak in another workout.
Well, next time that glove compartment isn't going to have tickets. It's going to have a bunch of NDAs in it when you get in an accident with Vince. But I will say that, I mean, this person's obviously going to sue him to some degree. There's going to be stuff going on.
Oh yeah, the police report said no injuries, and then all of a sudden in a deleted post it was, "I've got a bad neck."
There you
Which
go.
is fair enough, in fairness.
If you got somebody driving like that could have killed you, it's real scary. But yeah, this is probably a side effect of a person that has never been told no, never been told, or maybe in this case, "Hey Vince, you're getting up to be 80 years old. Shouldn't you just not drive anymore?" What? Gran Turismo. This is like him playing Burnout Paradise in real life.
He let's finish on this Vince McMahon question. Do you ever see him back? Do you think we're just going to get the occasional story of him running over all women? And that's
You know what I thought? I talked about it with Ben on the show this week. I thought that if there was ever a time, maybe not to see the Vince McMahon voice or Vince McMahon face, but hear the Vince McMahon voice, I thought he was going to voice over the Hulk Hogan tribute. I thought that was going to be a real possibility.
He was in a photo. That was about it. Just one photo in one of the montages.
Now, at this point, I mean, will he come back? I don't know. Is Vince in the WWE Hall of Fame?
No.
That would be the only thing I could see them maybe doing. Maybe.